The story opens at a large modern hospital before moving inside to the psychiatry department. In an office, a female psychiatrist asks her young muscular patient to confirm his bizarre symptom, that he perceives every living creature as a pig. The young man simply nods. Taken aback, the doctor leans forward, asking if he's joking and if he sees her as a pig. With a dead serious expression and intense glowing eyes, the patient confirms this is correct. The narrative then shifts to the patient's perspective, showing he sees his psychiatrist not as a human, but as an anthropomorphic pig wearing glasses, confirming his unbelievable condition. Despite her shock, the psychiatrist internally notes how handsome he is. Deciding to test his condition, she begins unbuttoning her blouse, suggesting they check his bodily functions. The action catches the young man completely off guard, leaving him wide-eyed and sweating. Leaning closer with her shirt partially open, she seductively asks what you see. From the patient's perspective, the sight is grotesque. Not only is her head still a pig's, but her breasts have become two smaller blushing pig heads. In contrast, the psychiatrist's inner thoughts reveal her vanity, finding it impossible that someone so beautiful could be seen as a pig. The patient stands up and bluntly answers, "I see two pigs." Hearing his literal response, the psychiatrist's demeanor changes from seductive to horrified. Clutching her shirt closed, she recoils, finally convinced of his mental illness. Changing the subject, she sits at her desk, holding a model of a human spine, and informs him he has severe spinal problems. She elaborates that his spine is severely deformed and twisted, compressing his brain and optic nerves, theorizing this might be the root cause of his perceptions. The young man is stunned by this revelation, his eyes wide with shock. The doctor gravely explains the only solution is a high-risk surgery to realign his spine, warning that failure could leave him paralyzed from the neck down. The patient nods intently, but his demeanor suddenly changes. He interrupts her with a flat expression and glowing red eyes, reaching for the model and asking for his spine back. The psychiatrist is taken aback, realizing he believes the model is his own spine. She internally laments what a waste it is for such a handsome man to be so delusional. Later, Ye Chuan is seen on a crowded bus, holding a medical report diagnosing him with severe mental illness. The scene shifts to his perspective, showing the bus filled with anthropomorphic pig people. He reflects he has always seen the world this way, speculating it's because his parents were pig butchers. He muses that the condition doesn't affect his daily life, with the major exception of dating. Clutching his diagnosis, Yi Chuan thinks about the day's importance. It's the day he will awaken his profession, and he'd hoped his illness could be cured before the ceremony. Arriving at the magnificent Qingcheng Academy, he sees a crowd of students before a massive glowing blue crystal. He worries his mental illness could negatively affect the awakening, creating a huge problem for his future. A female voice calls out, and a young woman with long light blue hair approaches, relieved to see him. She chides him for being late and playfully threatens to beat him up, clenching her fist. From Ye Chuan's perspective, this cute girl is just another pig person, this one with blue-hued features, shaking its fists menacingly. Oblivious, the girl gets comically angry, shaking him and demanding to know if he hurt her. Their interaction is noticed by a passing student who calls the girl Shu Lingshuan, and teases her for being a lovey-dovey with Yi Chuan. A companion adds that they are childhood sweethearts, who will probably marry soon. Flustered, Shu Lingshuan shouts at them, then tells Yi Chuan to ignore the gossip. From his perspective, the blue-haired pig girl makes the same suggestion, and he calmly agrees. A commanding voice booms as an elderly man before the crystal announces the ceremony is starting, instructing students to line up. He explains the awakening is based on their core attributes like strength, agility, and spirit, which they've honed at the academy. Higher attributes improve the chance of an advanced profession. He stresses the gravity of the moment, as their awakened profession will affect their entire lives, declaring an advanced combat profession a fate-defying achievement that brings glory to them in the academy. The elder instructs the first student to place their hand on the platform. One by one, students step forward. A muscular boy awakens an intermediate metalworker and looks disappointed. Another awakens an advanced healer, while a third awakens a junior engineer and collapses in despair. The next student, a muscular young man with reddish-orange hair, approaches the crystal. The moment his hand makes contact, it erupts brilliant golden light, revealing his result. Combat-type profession, rare tier, shadowless bladesman. The academy elder is stunned, his jaw dropping. He exclaims in disbelief that it's a rare tier profession, and the students gasp in shock. The elder, revealed to be the principal, beams with delight and asks for the student's name. The young man proudly introduces himself as Lu Jinglong. Overjoyed, the principal praises him and offers to personally visit his home to discuss his future path. Lu Jinglong thanks the principal, then turns to the crowd, waving smugly as his peers cheer for Bro Long. The principal calls the next name, Yi Chuan. From the crowd, Shu Lingxuan shouts encouragement. The principal observes Yi Chuan with interest, knowing that while the boy is strange, his stats are insanely high. He reflects that Yi Chuan's combined attribute total is 10, over 3 times the average. Hoping for a miracle, he watches Yi Chuan place his hands on the platform. Instantly, the crystal explodes with a cataclysmic surge of lightning, far more powerful than before, its force buffeting the principal and sending the crowd reeling. The principal stares, aghast at the power, wondering if the blinding energy is golden light, a sign of an awakening beyond rare tear. As Yi Chuan stares at the raw power he's unleashed, the principal's eyes widen. Divine tear, he yells, confirming the legendary highest possible tear. The energy coalesce, and glowing words announce the baffling result. Life-type profession, Divine Pig Butcher. The principal is left speechless and horrified, unable to comprehend how a divine tear awakening resulted in a simple pig butcher. The student's shock turns to mockery. The crowd erupts in laughter, questioning if the crystal malfunctioned and debating whether a divine tear awakening makes Yi Chuan incredibly lucky or unlucky. The principal seethes with rage and disappointment, feeling heaven is playing a cruel joke on him. After years as principal, he finally saw a legendary divine tear awakening, only for it to be the most useless profession, a pig butcher. He laments that a divine blacksmith or healer would have been something to boast about for years. Overcome with frustration, he thinks the higher his hopes were, the bigger the disappointment. Turning to the isolated Yi Chuan, the principal is at a loss for words, managing only a deep frustrated sigh as the boy walks away. As he walks, Yi Chuan notices something unexpected, a holographic blue screen that only he can see. It's a system interface displaying his complete status, including his new profession, talents, and skills. His talents are Swine Nemesis and Blade of God Slaying, and his first skill is Bloodshadow Butcher, which forces pigs into a state of fear. Most importantly, his Swine Nemesis talent grants a 50% bonus damage to pigs, a bonus that increases with every pig killed, while also reducing damage from pigs by half. Yi Chuan's eyes lock onto Swine Nemesis. As he reads about the 50% damage bonus, a subtle smile spreads across his face. The full implication dawns on him, his eyes glowing with red intensity as a powerful realization washes over him. He thinks that maybe being a lunatic isn't so bad. The final scene shows his perspective again. The entire academy, from the dejected principal to the jeering students, is a massive crowd of pigs. He concludes with the triumphant thought that his new powers are perfect, because in his eyes, the entire world is full of pigs. As Yi Chuan walks away from the awakening crystal, still shocking the principal, his classmates start to make fun of him. Lu Jinglong and his friend laugh at him openly. The friend mockingly says he expected a real dragon, not a pig butcher, and then praises Lu Jinglong as the only real dragon at the academy. Lu Jinglong smugly agrees. In the middle of the mocking, Shu Lingxuan walks over to support Yi Chuan. She gently pats his head and tells him it's okay. She tries to find a bright side, pointing out that as a divine-level pig butcher, he is following in his father's footsteps. While she comforts him, other students look on with envy. 2 boys are crying, upset at Yi Chuan's amazing luck for awakening a divine tier profession at all. Blushing, Shu Lingxuan adds that her father and Yi Chuan's father will be happy with the news. Yi Chuan remembers that he and Shu Lingxuan have been neighbors since they were kids. A flashback shows their parents, who all have life-type jobs, always trying to set them up together. Their talk is cut short when the principal, who has calmed down a bit, calls the next name, Shu Lingxuan. It's her turn. Looking nervous and excited, she turns to Yi Chuan and wonders if she will get her mother's tailoring profession or her father's winemaking one. Then she sincerely promises him that no matter what she awakens, she will always stay with him. Yi Chuan is left speechless by her promise. Taking a deep breath, Shu Lingxuan nervously walks to the awakening crystal and places her hand on it. The moment she touches it, a huge pillar of bright icy blue light shoots into the sky, much more powerful than any of the awakenings before it. Shu Lingxuan is stunned, her eyes wide with shock at the power. The principal is even more amazed than before, his face showing total disbelief. He yells out that it is a legendary profession, a level even higher than Lu Jinglong's. As the light swirls, the crystal shows her destiny. Combat-type profession, legendary tier, Snow Soul Sword Immortal. The principal can't believe it. He is amazed she awakened a legendary combat profession, especially since both her parents have simple life-type jobs. He decides her awakening must be the result of a very rare mutation. When the blue aura of her new power fades, Shu Lingxuan stands confidently, her whole attitude changed. The principal, seeing her now as the academy's top student, approaches her with great respect. He promises that Qing Cheng Academy will give her its full support for whatever she needs. With a graceful smile, she thanks him and walks off the platform, now a very powerful and important figure. The crowd notices the huge difference between their awakenings. Two female students gossip, one wondering if Shu Lingxuan, now a legendary fighter, will still follow the pig butcher around. Her friend says no, stating that Shu Lingxuan is improving, while Yi Chuan is not, and that the loser should be smart enough to leave her alone. As Shu Lingxuan approaches him, Yi Chuan offers a simple congratulations. However, her attitude has completely changed. She calls his name in a cold, serious voice. With her arms crossed, she says there may have been some misunderstandings between them, but she wants to clear things up. She then coldly tells him that they are no longer from the same world. Yi Chuan is clearly stunned by what she said. Meanwhile, Lu Jinglong and his friend watch from the side, smiling and enjoying the public rejection. To everyone's surprise, however, Yi Chuan's shock quickly turns into cheerful agreement. Thinking he is just putting on a brave face, Shu Lingxuan continues in a pitying tone. She tells him she knows this must be hard, and he doesn't have to pretend he is fine. She coldly says that as just a pig butcher, he will never do anything important. At this, Yi Chuan's face hardens as he tells her not to blame him for his reaction. The scene shifts to his view, where the now proud-looking pig-faced girl says that if he agrees, they should not bother each other in the future. While Shu Lingxuan stands there, confused by his reaction, Yi Chuan has a small, relieved smile. His inner thoughts show he is happy to finally get rid of the pig head. He then turns to leave, casually telling her he will be going, which leaves her completely shocked. Seeing Shu Lingxuan's confused state, Lu Jinglong walks up to her with a smug smile. He offers to teach Yi Chuan a lesson to help him face reality. Shu Lingxuan stays silent and looks unhappy, but Lu Jinglong takes this as a yes, his expression turning meaner. Without waiting for an answer, he yells at the departing Yi Chuan, calling him a pig butcher and telling him to come over. Yi Chuan keeps walking, ignoring him completely, which surprises Lu Jinglong. Angry at being ignored, Lu Jinglong rushes forward, grabs Yi Chuan's arm, and angrily asks if he is deaf. Yi Chuan finally stops and turns, his eyes glowing with a dangerous red light. He calmly asks what Lu Jinglong wants. Suddenly, a dark and scary aura bursts from Yi Chuan, covering him in shadow and making Lu Jinglong freeze. Overwhelmed by the intense pressure, Lu Jinglong cries out and stumbles backward in fear. The source of his fear is revealed. Lu Jinglong is trapped in a scary vision from Yi Chuan's ability. In his mind, he sees himself as a terrified pig, tied to a chopping block. Yi Chuan looms over him, his eyes glowing red as he raises a large butcher's knife. Lu Jinglong is frozen with the fear of being killed. The vision breaks, and back in reality, Lu Jinglong is on the ground, pale and sweating. The crowd, not knowing about the mental attack, laughs at his sudden fall. His friend rushes to his side, asking what happened, but Lu Jinglong can only stare in a panic. Humiliated and angry, Lu Jinglong gets up and glares at Yi Chuan. He furiously yells and throws a powerful punch at his face. However, Yi Chuan reacts with amazing speed. With a calm look and a glowing eye, he meets the punch with his own fist. The two fists are about to hit, with Yi Chuan's body covered in a red aura. The impact is instant and powerful. Lu Jinglong pulls back, screaming in pain, his hand red and broken, the bones seemingly crushed by the force of Yi Chuan's block. The shocking result leaves everyone, including Shu Lingxuan and Lu Jinglong's friend, completely stunned. They can only stare, wondering what is happening. Holding his broken hand, Lu Jinglong yells in disbelief, finding it impossible that he was beaten by just a pig butcher. In contrast, Yi Chuan stands calmly in a crackling red aura. He coolly says that as a pig butcher, it makes sense for him to have strong hands, finally showing a small piece of his profession's true, hidden power. As Yi Chuan stands his ground, the crowd is in an uproar. Lu Jinglong's friends question what is happening, pointing at the terrible state of his friend's hand. Full of pain and rage, Lu Jinglong screams at Yi Chuan, threatening to kill him. He roars as he channels his power, creating a bright cyan energy sword, his void-long sword, in his good hand. Seeing this, the gossiping girls in the crowd are sure the fight is over. One says that Lu Jinglong is finally getting serious, and Yi Chuan is dead for sure. The other wonders why a pig butcher would dare fight a combat class user, wishing he had just apologized when he could. The crowd knows Lu Jinglong's sword is strong enough to cut through a steel pipe. Burning with shame and wanting revenge, Lu Jinglong raises his weapon, screaming he is going to cripple Yi Chuan. But just as he is about to strike, the air grows cold and snowflakes begin to fall. Ice starts to form along the blade of his energy sword. The frost spreads quickly, covering Lu Jinglong's body in ice and freezing him. He struggles, horrified that his body won't move. He turns his head with great effort and glares at Shu Lingxuan, angrily asking why she is still helping Yi Chuan. Shu Lingxuan stands with her arms crossed, surrounded by a powerful frosty aura. With a cold presence, she tells them, looking at them both, she explains she doesn't want to see them fighting over her. The scene pulls back, showing the three of them standing apart in the plaza. Shu Lingxuan looks at Yi Chuan one last time and says he must see now that they are not from the same world anymore. She tells him this is the last time she will help him, and that it's a final farewell to their past. In response, Yi Chuan just stands there with a bored look, casually picking his ear, not bothered by her words at all. With her back to him, she gives him one last warning to leave Qingcheng. She makes it clear that the next time Lu Jinglong seeks revenge, she will not help him again. Yi Chuan, however, is not impressed. He lets out a large yawn and casually says that if there is nothing else, he will be going, turning to leave. The two gossiping girls who were watching are left confused, saying to each other that the boy isn't taking the situation seriously. The scene changes, and Yi Chuan is now walking alone down a city street at dusk. His walk is interrupted by a woman with a large mean-looking dog. The dog barks aggressively, blocking his path. Yi Chuan's eye flashes with a faint red glow as he notices them. Instantly, his view of reality changes. To him, the woman is a large pig, and her dog is a monstrous, snarling boar. Back in reality, the dog lunges and bites his pants leg. Unfazed, Yi Chuan calmly asks the owner if she can pull her pig away before correcting himself to dog, saying it is blocking his path. His comment makes the woman furious. From Yi Chuan's view, the pig woman gets in his face and screams at him, asking if he owns the road and accusing him of having no manners. Instead of getting angry, a sense of calm comes over Yi Chuan. He takes a deep breath, thinking this is perfect timing. He has a theory about his new powers. Without hesitating, Yi Chuan tests his theory. He gives the aggressive dog a single, powerful kick that glows with a faint blue energy. The kick is instantly fatal. The owner watches in horror as the dog's spirit floats up from its body. She cries out in despair, calling the animal her son. Immediately, a blue system notification appears in Yi Chuan's vision, confirming his extra damage has increased by 1%. Staring at the message with wide glowing eyes, he confirms his theory was right. His swine nemesis ability works on any creature he sees as a pig. The enraged owner lunges at him, her face twisted with rage. She screams that he is a murderer for killing her son and threatens to fight him to the death. Unfazed, Yi Chuan simply states that he is a psychopath. To prove it, he calmly pulls out his medical diagnosis, showing her the word psycho on it. With a cold expression, he asks if there is anything else. Otherwise, he is leaving. The woman is terrified. She thinks she has run into a real psychopath and that if he could kill her dog, he could easily kill her too. Her aggressive attitude disappears. Putting on a forced smile, she tells him it was nothing and wishes him well. The story moves to Yi Chuan's home. Inside, he is greeted by his parents. His muscular father, Yi Qiwan, laughingly asks if he really became a pig butcher, while his mother smiles gently. Yi Chuan confirms it. His father is overjoyed, pulling him into a proud hug. He calls him a stinky kid and says he's happy Yi Chuan is taking after him, believing it's great to be honest pig butchers. He feels this life is better than fighting and killing and tells Yi Chuan he will take him to the slaughterhouse the next day. Later that night, Yi Chuan is sleeping peacefully in his bed, wearing a pig-themed onesie. While the family sleeps, a mysterious figure in the shadows with one glowing blue eye appears outside the home. The figure appears at his parents' bedroom window. The shadowy figure, whose face is wrapped in bandages, expresses disbelief that the son of Ghost Cry is a simple pig butcher. He then asks Yi Chuan's father if the boy is really his son. In the darkness, Yi Qiwan's eye snaps open. He is awake and looks much tougher than before. He warns the figure not to disturb their family again, threatening to be less polite next time. The shadowy figure advises him not to be angry. It seems to have confirmed what it came for, stating that since the son is just a pig butcher, the organization will not trouble them anymore. With that, the mysterious figure vanishes into the darkness. The next day, Yi Qiwan takes his son to the family slaughterhouse. The large facility is lined with pig carcasses on hooks. Wearing a black apron, Yi Chuan follows his father with a look. Yi Qiwan tells him that a good pig butcher needs a good knife. He leads Yi Chuan to a special case holding 3 large cleavers and encourages his son to pick one. Yi Chuan looks at the knives and reaches for the one in the middle. The moment he grips it, a blue system notification appears. It says, "A pig-slaying knife has been selected and his god-slaying edge talent is now active." This ability will give him 0.1 free attribute points for every pig he kills with this knife. With his son armed, Yi Qiwan begins the first lesson. He explains that the first step is to learn how to use the knife as a large pig carcass is hoisted before them. From Yi Chuan's view, the dead animal looks like a monstrous, snarling boar. His father continues, telling him to aim for the weak spot for a clean, one-hit kill. He then steps back and tells Yi Chuan to try. Following his father's instruction, Yi Chuan swings his new cleaver. The blade glows with red energy as it cleanly slices through the pig carcass, decapitating the monster in his vision in a single move. A system notification appears, confirming the kill of one chilled, normal pig. It tells him his level, bonus damage, and free attribute points have all increased. His father, Yi Qiwan, praises him but notes the strike wasn't precise enough, advising him to aim for the next carotid artery to be more efficient. Yi Chuan simply nods. His father places a hand on his shoulder, acknowledging that slaughtering pigs must feel dull for someone his age, but it's how they make a living. However, Yi Chuan's expression is eager. He points to a large bin of carcasses and asks if he can slaughter all of them. His father laughs with pride at his son's enthusiasm and happily agrees, even offering up the pigs belonging to his colleagues for practice. What follows is a montage of focused slaughter. With each swing of his glowing red knife, Yi Chuan kills another pig, and new system notifications show his level rapidly increasing from 2 to 4. At the end of the day, Yi Chuan sits in the quiet slaughterhouse, next to 2 massive piles of slaughtered pigs. He stares at his status screen. A final notification shows his progress. He killed 49 pigs, increased his bonus damage to 100%, and raised his core attributes from 10 to 15. He is now a level 5 apprentice. In the slaughterhouse, his father's colleagues approach in shock. One butcher asks Yi Qiwan if that is his son, saying with disbelief that the boy seems addicted to slaughtering pigs and has just finished all their work for the week. Yi Qiwan chuckles with pride, not surprised by his son's work. He proudly says it is to be expected because his son is a divine pig butcher. Meanwhile, Yi Chuan holds his new knife, reflecting on his progress. He feels he has gotten comfortable handling the weapon and decides it is time to leave the slaughterhouse and see what the outside world has to offer. The next day, Yi Chuan, carrying a backpack, is ready to leave. In this world, dangerous monsters are common. Humanity lives in a federation divided into 9 districts, and Qingcheng City is on the edge of the 5th district. Yi Chuan arrives at a massive stone gate with borderlands carved above it, the exit from the city into the dangerous wilds. Just as he is about to pass through, a city guard stops him. The guard warns him that with a life-type profession, he is only allowed to go 1 kilometer from the city. He stresses that if he travels farther, his life will be in danger. Yi Chuan, looking determined, simply nods. Ignoring the guard's warning, Yi Chuan ventures deep into the dark forest of the borderlands. As he walks, a rustling sound in the bushes catches his attention. Suddenly, a small green creature with a wicked grin leaps from the shadows with a small dagger, letting out a shrill battle cry as it lunges at him. Yi Chuan calmly identifies the monster as a goblin. Seeing an opportunity, Yi Chuan's eyes glow red. He decides to test his blood shadow butcher skill. A system notification confirms the skill is active. The effect is instant. The goblin's aggressive look turns to pure terror, and it is paralyzed by a sudden killing aura. With the goblin frozen, Yi Chuan easily dodges and in one swift motion, swings his knife and slices the creature down. Another system notification appears. It confirms the kill of one chilled goblin pig, and just like with the other pigs, his level and bonus damage have increased. He realizes that the stronger the pig he kills, the greater the benefit. He stands in the dark forest examining his status screen when he notices something. All around him in the woods, dozens of pairs of glowing green eyes have appeared. He recalls a warning from a former teacher. If you see one goblin, it means a whole group has marked you. Instead of showing fear, Yi Chuan looks almost happy. With his knife ready, he remarks that it looks like he is about to level up again and eagerly challenges the goblin pigs to attack. With battle cries, the goblins swarm him from all sides. What follows is not a struggle, but a display of masterful butchery. Yi Chuan moves like a whirlwind, his knife glowing as he effortlessly cuts down goblin after goblin. Soon, only one goblin is left. Chuan's cleaver hangs over its head. With his eyes glowing red, Yi Chuan looks down at the terrified creature with a dark smile. The last goblin turns to run, but it is too late. Having killed the entire group, Yi Chuan follows their trail and soon arrives at the entrance to a large dark cavern. He figures this must be the goblin nest. The sounds of screams and battle soon echo from inside the cave. The scene inside is one of absolute carnage. The cave floor is covered with the corpses of dozens of slain goblins. Yi Chuan has wiped out the entire nest by himself. He stands calmly and looks at a new system notification. The screen shows his level has increased to rank 6 apprentice, his attributes have soared to 25, and his pig nemesis bonus damage is now at plus 120%. As Yi Chuan stands in the silent goblin cave, a strange noise from deeper within catches his attention. He quickly turns toward the sound, which seems to come from behind a crude wooden barricade. Without hesitation, Yi Chuan delivers a powerful kick, shattering the wooden planks. His silhouette is framed by a menacing red glow as he steps into the newly opened area. Inside, he makes a horrifying discovery. A young woman with short blonde hair is tied up with red ropes. She has a gag in her mouth and is terrified. Surrounding her are two small baby-like goblins crying for milk. The captive woman's eyes are filled with tears as she looks at her potential rescuer, her thoughts a desperate plea for help.